everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, it is very nice to meet you, and on this channel we talk and do all things books. So today I thought it would be a good idea to show you guys my annotation process because I have recently really been loving annotating my books. I used to be one of those girls who would never ever annotate her books. I wouldn't highlight, I wouldn't underline, and I definitely would not make any type of notes in my books because I thought I was ruining them in a way. About a year ago, I came to the conclusion that I'm not ruining them, I'm just making them my own. And I love the process. Like, it makes the book really feel like it's my book, and I think it is, number one, so fun. Number two, it's very cute, and I just really love doing it. So I'm going to start off with the reasons I annotate. So a big reason why I started annotating, obviously, it is very cute. I love doing it. I love taking pictures of it. This is my hobby. Reading is my hobby, so doing little things that add to the hobby make it just that much more fun for me. Number two is because I read so many books in such a short period of time, it really helps me understand and remember the book more. If you remember taking notes in college or high school or whatever it is that you've studied for before, you take notes while you're being lectured or studying because it helps you retain information, and that's just what I'm doing with my books in a way. I read so many in such a short period of time. I read 9 books last month, and now I don't annotate all of my books. A lot of them I do, and it just helps me really understand, get to a deeper meaning of the book, and also my thoughts and feelings of the book, while also retaining more information. I'm gonna be honest, I do not annotate every single book I read. I mainly stick to annotating my romantasy books, my romance books, and my fantasy books. The reason I do this is because I just don't see the need to annotate a thriller book or a memoir. I don't know, I'm not as attached to thriller books as I am with romances or romantasies or fantasy books, so I only annotate whenever I feel like annotating. I think a big thing with annotating is never to force yourself to do it, because then it's just not going to be fun for you and it's going to feel like a chore more than it is fun. So I definitely do not annotate every single book I read, but I thought it would be good to start off with the supplies I use. For the love of God, please do not go to like Staples or a big store to get your annotation supplies, because whenever I tell you, you can get them for so cheap and in bulk off of Temu, Shein, and Amazon. I'm not kidding. Now, I know some of those stores aren't the best. These online stores will sell in bulk for very cheap. I have so many tabs, and it's because I got them on Temu or Shein or Amazon in bulk, and they're so cheap. And it also gives you like a really wide range to choose from, and that's what makes it fun when picking out the colors of the tabs that you're going to use. Please, for the love of God, do not go and spend your hard-earned money on like a pack of 5 for like $10 from Staples or something. Please order on Amazon, if anything, because you will get them for a lot cheaper, and I learned this the hard way, so please don't do what I did. So on my desk on the left, I have the majority of my annotation supplies, and both of the containers I got from Temu, and I'm going to go more into depth in them. And then I have my drawers, which have most of my highlighters and pens and my roller and all that fun stuff. And the clear containers I actually got from TikTok shop. Something came up and it was like a bulk for cheap, and I ordered it, and it makes my organization very pleasing to me. I'm gonna start off with this, which I have on my desk, and I got this from Temu. So first off, in the drawer, I actually just have these translucent sticky tabs. I don't use these often. I would use them more, but I cannot seem to find a pen that goes on without smudging, so I just have this in the top drawer. And then in the bottom, I just have this cute little butterfly bookmark, so I don't really use those as much. And then right here, I have my little Eras Tour pin, which I think is so cute. But onto the annotation stuff. I don't know if you can see, but on this side, there's like 2 tiny little mini compartments. There's a compartment on this side, and then a long compartment in the back. So up front, I actually just keep the supplies that I'm currently using to annotate, to keep them at hand's length. And then I have the tabs that I actually took off, which you'll see in a second, to put onto my annotation guide, so I can put them back whenever I'm done. And then on this side, I actually have sticky strips if I ever want to highlight a long line or anything. I don't use those that much because I'd rather highlight it than put tabs over like the things that I want to highlight. But I think I might try to start getting into it more, but I just haven't really yet. And then on the same side, I actually have 2 bookmarks. I have How's the Weather Parks and then also a folklore bookmark. And then in the back, we have literally tabs galore. These are all the tabs I have. It gives me so many different options on what I want to use to annotate my books. So that's my storage that I have for my tabs mainly. And then under that I have, oh, that would not look good. Under that I have this little, anyways, I have this storage bin, and in these I have highlighters. Now both of these sets of highlighters I did get from Temu, so I just have these thick ones. I have just some smaller ones. So those highlighters are actually quite mild, which I really like because that means that they're not going to bleed through the page. And these are actually more that I got from Amazon, and these are also mild, so it is a lot easier to work with, especially with thin pages. The ones that I suggest the most, because you can get them basically anywhere, are actually the zebra mild liners, because they not only have like that end, it has a little one. So I actually like to underline with these sometimes if the quote means more to me. So I have those. Another mild ones that I like to use sometimes, but I don't really use these as much. I use these more for my reading journal because they have kind of a thicker tip, are the Tombow brush lines. And I just have a bunch of pens, colored and normal, from miscellaneous places. Like my sister got me a few whenever she visited New York. I got them from Temu, Amazon, the store, just stuff like that. I just have thrown. So those are my annotation supplies. Again, please, 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 please do not buy them from like Walmart or Staples, because they are going to be way more expensive, and I'd rather you save money and get them in bulk from a website online. Now we're going to get into my annotation process. So the books that I'm going to use to show you how I annotate are actually the Knock 'em Out series. As you can tell, these have been very well loved and very well annotated. I actually just finished Things We Left Behind today, like right before I started this video, because oh my god, I literally annotated so much of this book. I loved it so much. But these are like my mainly annotated books. Again, romance books are something I absolutely love to annotate. So I'm going to use, for now, Things We Left Behind, because I actually still have my little annotation card that I used. So to get started with annotating, what I do, I'll pick my book. So Things We Left Behind is the book that I am choosing. Now what I do is I figure out how many tabs and what categories I want to use to annotate. I have never been the person who will use a tab for a character. So Sloane and Lucian are the main characters in this. I don't have a tab for Sloane or Lucian. I never understood that, because I'm like, well, the whole book is about them, so what are you gonna tab about them? Like, if you do go on Pinterest or Bookstagram and you'll see annotation guides, the characters will be them sometimes, and I just have never understood that. Also, before I get started, like really into it, I just want to say this is not something that you have to follow. Annotating is something that makes the book yours, and I just hope that this is a guide for you to kind of find your way through annotation, because I know whenever I first started, I was completely clueless and I felt like I was doing it wrong. There's no right or wrong way to do it. Just do what makes you happy and what you enjoy doing. And this is just the way that works for me. So if you can get inspiration from this, that would make me very happy. What I do on my romance books, there are 5 main categories that I use. If I want to do something different, or I know a little bit about the book beforehand, I'll go on Pinterest and I will actually look up annotation guide with the name of the book, and I'll get some ideas from that. The 5 main ones that I usually use whenever I am annotating is 1, quotes, 2, kicking my feet, 3, relatable, 4, emotional, so that can be sad, happy, angry, anything that makes me feel something, and also favorite moments. These are the tabs that I chose to use for Things We Left Behind. I will always match my tabs to the cover of the book. I would not be using blue tabs for this book. I would not be using yellow tabs for this book. I go through my tabs and I compare them to the book cover and see what matches. So like this dark one matches that. The light ones match this, and then just any purple ones that will go with the book, I'm going to be using. Because at the end of the day, I know this might just be an OCD thing, but them matching the cover just makes me so happy. So then what I will do is I will pick a normal pen, like a black pen. I will pick a highlighter that goes with the cover, and I will pick a pen that will go with the color. So for this book, I used a purple highlighter, I used a purple pen, and then I have a normal pen. And then as I get started with the book, I make a guide because I'm not even gonna lie to you. Have I ever really went back and read my annotations? No. But again, I told you why I do it. It's to retain information. And also, if I loan a book to my friend, I think it's really fun for them to see the moments I like and the moments that made me feel something, and we can compare our thoughts. I just think that's really fun. So I also sometimes will go back and take a picture of the quotes that I highlighted or the dedication, because I'll use that for my content for my Bookstagram sometimes, so that's also a plus for me. So what I do is I open the book to get started and I will find a blank page. And I will take the tab and I will put a tab for each category, and I will write down the category so I know what tab goes with what for future reference. So there are 3 things that I like to use: brackets, highlighting, and underlining. Now this may get confusing, but this is just what I do and how I like to annotate. So if I underline something in just black pen, it's just something that I enjoyed and I wanted to mark it down. If I underline it in color pen, I really liked it and it's something that I wanted to mark down. If I highlight it, it means it was amazing and I just I loved it so much. If it is underlined and highlighted, it is just something that really tugged at my heartstrings, or I thought was very memorable. So those are my main things that I do. And then if it's a long paragraph, I will put it in brackets. So I will show you what I mean by that. Okay, so I set the camera up. So this is an example of something I underlined because I just enjoyed it. So in this book, it's basically just one of her friends saying they're gonna protect her, and I really like that, so I underlined it. This was a quote I enjoyed, so I highlighted it, and it's just something I really enjoyed, so it got a highlight. There are some things we never get over, some things we hide from the light. Here is an example of a bracket where it was a long paragraph, so I didn't want to just completely highlight the whole paragraph, so I put a whole entire bracket around it. And then this is an example of something I really enjoyed because it is highlighted and underlined. So she said, "You remembered," and then he said, "I remember every second of us," and that got a highlight and a double underline. So that obviously proves that I really liked that. So in all 3 of these books, I think one of the very important things is to please put your guide in the very beginning, because if you do ever want to reread these books or you want to loan them out, you're gonna want something to remind you of what you annotated and what you highlighted and tabbed and what it meant, because you're gonna be like, well, what color is this tab for? What color is that tab for? So another thing that I am actually just now getting into is kind of doodling or making little note annotations. I'm sure in a few of those you saw me saying "aw" or something like that. Annotating isn't supposed to be a whole paragraph where you're writing about it. It's just kind of putting your little thoughts in it. So I am trying to get used to writing out my thoughts in the book. But one thing I have been really enjoying lately is little doodles, because it's, number one, I love doodling, I love art, and I love books. So putting that together has been really fun and therapeutic for me. So this is just my copy of Ruthless Vows and the dedication. I obviously picked my annotations and my pens, and this has a blue on the cover, so I picked blue pens. So I put little hearts around the dedication because the dedication meant a lot to me, and I just thought it was really cute. And that's honestly what this is all about to me, is being cute. So I know this wasn't a very long video, but I kind of just wanted to get my annotations out there and how I do it, what my meaning is behind it, in case anyone wants to get into annotating, because I know I wanted to start annotating my books for a very long time, and I really just couldn't get myself to do it. I didn't know where to start. I didn't know what kind of guide to use. I literally will just cut out cardstock, pick out my tabs, and start reading, and anything that speaks to me, I will just jump in and highlight, underline to my little heart's desire. I'll do my little doodles, my hearts, my diamonds, whatever I want to do, and I really enjoy it, and it makes reading that much more fun for me. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up, a like, a comment, all that fun YouTube stuff. I really love books, and I have really been loving making videos lately, and I hope some of you guys are enjoying watching them if you are not new here. But thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye!